Welcome to the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Retro Video Store Podcast. I'm your host Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And that's my co-host Neil.
I'm Neil, and who is back after fighting a 37-acre blaze?
That's the co-host Dave.
Dave is back. He even went on a fire and managed to come back to record with us. So, yeah.
I'm here.
Before we dive into the movie podcast, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about the Cowboys?
3 words. Dallas is back.
They beat the Giants. Not really the high bar to set, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was David's Sports Corner.
Yeah, that's it.
That should be a new segment. David's Football Minute.
Well, as a matter of fact, that's what the fire interrupted too. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. My football second. Notre Dame lost a heartbreaker on Saturday. It was annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're not here to talk about sports. We're here to talk about slasher movies. And this is our third slasher movie of the month. And next week, we're going to just kind of talk about slasher movies and talk about the horror movies of 1981. But before we do that, we got to talk about one of the slasher movies from 1981, The Prowler from 1981. And right as we were getting ready to record, Neil pretty much hit the nail on the head of this. What did you say, Neil?
Pitchfork titties.
Oh, other than that, before Pitchfork Titties.
I don't remember. That's the only thing I thought.
You said Tom Savini saved this movie.
Yes, Tom Savini saved this movie. He sure did.
Yes, because this would be a very unremarkable slasher movie if it wasn't for the work of Mr. Tom Savini. And we'll talk about him as we get going here. But let's do what we always do. And we'll start with David. David, what did you watch this week?
Actually, I didn't watch anything, to be honest with you. I watched a little bit of football. I watched... What did I watch?
Pornhub doesn't count.
What's that?
Pornhub doesn't count.
We can't get that in Utah. But I watched...
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I watched the 3-part documentary, and I cannot remember now on what it was. That's it.
Must not have been that great.
I'm going to wait for the part where Eric stops and edits the podcast where he explains what a VPN is to David.
Yes, exactly. Get a VPN.
I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, I didn't watch anything except something I can't remember. Neil, what'd you watch?
So what a weekend for combat sports it was. I watched Diego Lopez just take it home in the last UFC. That was exciting. I watched Canelo and Crawford fight, which was also amazing. And then I started a series called Department Q.
What's Department Q about?
It's about a guy who is a police officer, and he gets shot and survives it and comes back after a little bit of trauma and is given a chance to solve any unsolved cases that he wants. And it's pretty dark, the show. It's pretty moody and psychological and all that other great stuff. But I watched that. That was pretty decent. I think my wife finished up Wednesday, so I sat on the couch and pretended like I enjoyed that. And then I watched another episode of Alien Earth, but I'm taking that one slow.
Mm-hmm. Haven't watched any of that yet. I really want to. I hear it's really good.
It's pretty good. It went in a direction I did not expect it to go as far as the focus of it, but it's been pretty good so far. And spot on special effects. I mean, they spent some money on this show.
Everybody's been talking about the eyeball tentacle monster thingy. I've been seeing all over the place.
As well, they should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was just kind of some serious stuff. And listening to a lot of books. Mm. And Small Town Murder. I listened to probably the best Small Town Murder episode I have ever listened to. It was amazing.
Which one?
It was The Cowboy and the Con Man in Olancha, California. No, I kid you not. You both need to listen to this one because they get halfway through and they're like, okay, they caught the murderer. And like, I'm sitting there like, wow, we've got like a half hour left on this podcast. There's got to be something going on. And then the twists start to hit. So good. It really is one of their better episodes. It was so entertaining. The
Nice.
Cowboy and the Con Man. Do you listen to that at all, Eric? I know Dave does.
No,
but do you?
I have not listened to that at all. I'll have to check it out.
It's so funny. I'm downloading it right now.
Yeah, it's so damn good. Tell me what you think when you listen to it, Dave.
You know what? One thing that cracks me up about those guys is that how much the one guy hates New Mexico.
Just hates New Mexico.
Every time he says, "You know where we're taking a trip to New Mexico," and the one guy goes, "Oh boy."
Well, you can't get everything right.
Yep.
So, hey, what about that fire, Dave? How bad was that fire?
It was not as exciting as what Eric watched this week.
Oh, thanks, David, for helping me. Nice segue.
God damn you, Dave.
I watched a shitload of stuff this week.
Shit.
A shitload of stuff this week. I watched Friday the 13th, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6 throughout the week. Then I watched Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 2018, and Halloween Kills. And I even went to the movies this week. Too.
Yeah, you guys have been to them. I have not been able to encourage the family to go see movies. I wanted to see Weapons, really wanted to see Weapons, and then that other movie.
Weapons amazing.
That other movie you saw sounded really good too.
Yeah, I went and saw The Long Walk, which was really fucking good. It was really good. It was based on Stephen King under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman. It was like the first thing he ever wrote. So it came out, he wrote it when he was young, and it's kind of like his response to like the Vietnam War back then. But now it's even more, resonant today. Things don't change, and it is a really good movie, but it is bleak and not a fun watch.
I liked his other pseudonym that he wrote under because he wrote under Richard Bachman, but I really enjoyed when he wrote under Turner Overdrive.
Bachman Turner, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, we need to do Maximum Overdrive. Maybe we'll do that first week of November.
Honey, this machine just called me an asshole.
That'll be fun. So let all the listeners kind of know what's ahead of us in October. So next week we're going to do our very special slasher episode. Then we're going to do Tourist Trap. We're going to take it back a couple of years into the 70s for a very underrated horror movie of that time. Then we're going to do Evil Dead from 2013, bringing it up closer, a little newer. Pumpkinhead, and then Halloween 2018, and maybe Maximum Overdrive after that, just because it'll be the first week of November, but we still need to do a horror movie because it'll be during the Halloween week anyway, so we should probably watch another horror movie. So trying to vary it up a little bit for October with some new ones and some old ones and some stuff like that. So David, you're cracking up?
I just burped the whole time you were talking. I realized I didn't hit mute. And
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, perfect.
Didn't hear it, so that's good. Yeah. So that is upcoming. Unless you guys want to change something up, but I think it's a nice mix of old and new for October.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we've had some requests for Pumpkinhead from listeners, so we'll give that a shot.
So when you say Evil Dead, we talking about the Evil Dead Rise? You talking about the one from 2013?
The one where it was the Fede Alvarez's version of Evil Dead from 2013. It's fucking nasty and bloody and gross and mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the 2013 one.
Yeah,
because Bruce Campbell's in that one. Yeah.
No, right at the end he just is groovy, but he's not in the rest of it.
I thought, okay, then I'm thinking of something completely different. All right.
It is really, really good. It is mean. Evil Dead 2013. It is now available on Hulu, Tubi, Disney Plus with Hulu for all you subscribers out there. I'm still waiting, and I'm excited for AMC Fear Fest to announce their lineup pretty soon, and I'm excited for Peacock to get all their horror movies, and Shudder and all the other streaming services that just really pile on the horror movies this time of year. And that's just going to be just horror movies all the time, 24 hours a day.
It's kind of weird. You're like your new obsession with horror movies, like just this like newfound obsession.
Maybe I should start a podcast about it.
I don't know.
So this to me is the most wonderful time of the year when it comes to movies. I just totally digging it. But I think that's got a nice lineup coming up. And then today we're talking about The Prowler from 1981. Neil, do you want to hit us with the Internet Movie Database tagline?
An unknown killer clad in World War II U.S. Army fatigues stalks a small California town bent on reliving a 35-year-old double murder by focusing on a group of college kids holding an annual graduation dance. That's a single sentence, ladies and gentlemen. One whole sentence.
One thing that you will notice is this plot is extremely similar to My Bloody Valentine. Almost the exact same plot. It was just a different setting, holiday setting in My Bloody Valentine, and the minor and all this kind of stuff is in My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, but it didn't have that annoying deputy, and I wanted that deputy dead so bad.
That deputy looks like Christopher Walken's illegitimate child.
So that's what my wife kept saying. Doesn't that guy look like Christopher Walken? So just to piss her off, I was like, I don't think so. I don't get where you're coming up with that.
So what would Christopher Walken say if he was a deputy and saw some guy with a pitchfork?
Wow. You seem like you're looking for hay, but there is none. What are your intentions with that pointy pitchfork?
Where are you hiding that watch? That rose? Where's the rose been hiding?
Okay, all right. Why a pitchfork? The dude's all about like, hey, look, I've got this giant ass bayonet, and I have my grandfather's World War II bayonet. And I also have his duty knife and a few other things and a lot of German money for some reason. But of all the things, you've got that, and apparently very, very sharp, right? He's cutting throats with it.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell's the pitchfork come in? Like he just, you know what? I've been to war, but hey, look what I have.
Yeah.
Get it? Because of pitchfork. I didn't get the pitchfork.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed...
He'd be walking around, he'd have the knife, and then he'd come back around the hallway, and they'd be holding the fucking pitchfork, especially at the end. It's like, oh, I had a knife. Oh, look, I just found a pitchfork. That's the problem. You live in a town where there's so many fucking pitchforks, you're bound to take one in the neck.
Everywhere where you turn around, there's a pitchfork sitting up there. Neil, have you seen this movie before?
I did not remember it, and then we got partway into it, and I remembered it about the time she got killed in the pool.
Okay,
and that was like, okay, now I remember this movie.
David, have you ever seen this movie before? No.
This is riveting.
Thanks for expounding upon that, David.
This is wow.
You asked the question, I answered.
We're encouraged to expound upon our ideas and feelings.
I'd like to welcome you into the doctor's office today, David. Says you're in here to talk about your shoulder. Is that right? Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much. And I guess we'll schedule it for next week.
Yeah. Yes. No. So there's a chat GPT.
A man of few words, but of varied grunts.
What'd you think of the movie, David?
You've been on the woods so long, you're fucking talking like Sasquatch now. David's got like 20 different grunts to describe the texture of a pine cone, but he sure as fuck can't tell you his feelings on a movie.
David, have you been secretly adopted by a Sasquatch family? You're learning their ways? You say you're going to go fight fires, but you're going to see your kid?
It wasn't like it was just you asked, hey, have you seen this before? And I said, no.
I think David's out of Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh my God, that girl's got a mustache. David's like, likes him a little furry now. That Mediterranean look.
Do you want to hit us with the chat GPT generated tagline?
Sure. A World War II clad killer stalks a small coastal town 35 years after a bloody graduation night double murder. The Prowler is a moody, ultra-gory, early 80s slasher notable for Joseph Zito's tight direction and Tom Savini's brutal practical effects. Cult classic status earned.
All right, I'm going to say yes for Tom Savini's brutal practical effects, but no to Joseph Zito's tight direction. This movie is not tightly directed at all.
Oh, I totally read that in a different way. Tight direction. Mm-hmm. I thought that meant like down,
Tight direction, yeah.
Yeah.
The more slashers we watch, the more, especially the last 3 that we've watched, the more I'm so acutely aware of the padding that they added to these movies with people running around doing nothing.
Yes, there's so much doing nothing. And I love the fact that the dude is supposedly a deputy sheriff and they just treat him like a goober. I was waiting for them to talk. I was waiting for them to talk to him like the deputy from Scream. David Arquette's Dewey. I was just waiting for them to call him Dewey. He's like, wait here. I'm not waiting here. Well, come with me since you're well armed and trained for this. Let's go. Let's see how this works out.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Halloween this week, and it is tightly paced. The panic glide camera, the way that everything's done, it sets up. That's the way to do tension. Just walking around in the dark doesn't mean it's tense. It means you're padding the time where, when you watch Halloween, they establish each setting so well that you can kind of anticipate where they're going to go. And then you anticipate, where is Michael? Where is Michael in the situation? What the hell is going to happen? And you do feel that tension. Where this one, they're just like, shit, they're running around in the dark again. And I like this movie. but
I mean, it was fun because every time you get the vibe like, look, all these people are dead. Mm-hmm. At some point, there's something so unlikable about so many of them. They're all going to go. Yeah. And then you got to throw in at least one hero protagonist that's going to get iced just to like up the situation. But that was the enjoyable bit because once I'd forgotten it was a Tom Savini thing, and then I watched the first kill, and I'm like, that looks so familiar the way that's done, and it's like they're showing it go in and twist around and shit. And that was when I stopped. I'm like, Tom Savini, boom, there it is.
Yes, that is the Tom Savini difference. Let's talk about the director first. Director is Joseph Zito.
Sounds like you're advertising as like a sub shop. Come taste the Tom Savini difference.
The meatball subs at the Tom Savini sub shop are amazing. The gabagool here is amazing.
It's so good. What do you think about the direction in the movie, Dave? All right, cool. You can be quiet for another 5 minutes. Dave, like.
Movie scary. So,
Daddy, make Dave feel weird tingly thing.
So Joe Zito was a director. He's now 79 years old. He did a movie called Abduction in 1975. He did the slasher movie Blood Rage, also known as Never Pick Up a Stranger. Then he did the Prowler.
Use your legs. That's the part. I think that was a subline. Never pick up a stranger. You should use your legs.
Strain your back.
Yes.
Did the Prowler in 1981. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is actually one of the best Friday the 13th movies. So he upped his game for that one because that one is fun, fast, and doesn't have any fat on it. It's just Jason kill, and that's it. Because I watched it this weekend. It is still one of the gold standard of Friday the 13th movies. Connects to Friday the 13th Part 2. It's still fun. He did Missing in Action with Chuck Norris, Invasion USA with Chuck Norris, which we've done an episode on.
Time to get shot in the dick in Invasion USA.
He did a movie called Red Scorpion with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh God, I've seen that too. I just felt a twinge of shame.
Then for a long time he didn't do any movies. He did a movie called Power Play in 2003, and then he was in the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th. Who has that documentary on Blu-ray? That would be me. It's a good documentary.
Crystal Lake Memories.
Yeah, it's so good. Really, really good.
They did one about all the females who've been in there, and they called it Crystal Lake Memories.
Yes. Part 5. Just having recently saw that one. That is very boob-centric compared to the other movies.
I will say that as soon as the girl got in the shower and the thing opened up and Sammy looked up, she goes, "Oh, yep, your friend's back in form."
Back in form. Yeah, because Hell Knight had a lack of boobs, which we lamented in our review of the movie, that it was the Titty Creek runneth dry. Isn't that where we live? Wasn't there a place like no? Anyway. It was written by Glenn.
It was nowhere near your house when we were kids.
Yeah, I didn't have Titty Creek anywhere near my house. Written by Glenn Leopold and Neil Barbera. What we have talked about so far, Tom Savini is in charge of the makeup effects, and he is pretty damn cool. Runs his own makeup school, and he is known for working with George Romero initially and acting in some movies as well. But he was in makeup effects. First one was Death Dream, then Deranged, Martin, Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, Maniac, Eyes of a Stranger, The Burning, which we have done an episode on, The Prowler, which we're speaking about today. He was in Night Riders, that movie where bikers are doing like medieval Renaissance fair stuff. He did Creep Show, Alone in the Dark, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Day of the Dead, which I think may be his best work of all. I think that is probably his high point of that. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Creep Show 2. And he's just awesome. Seems like a cool guy. He does a lot of classic makeup effects, and he was also, what was he known for acting wise, Neil?
Sex Machine.
Yes, he was Sex Machine in From Dusk Till Dawn.
My name's Sex Machine. Nice to meet you.
David, this is a time for you to let us know what are your first opinion.
Well, I would say this one over Hell Knight brought back more of the 80s slasher. I know, but when was Hell Knight made again? What year?
It was 81. All the 3 movies this month are made in 81.
81. Yeah, this one just felt more of an 80s slasher than Hell Knight. Like the pacing, I felt like the cinematography, just everything, even as far as like the music, just had more of that feeling that we were watching an 80s slasher. So
yeah,
like right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you in the sense that Hell Knight felt like it was a little bit more stuck in the 70s or something. It didn't have that kind of 80s vibe going on. And I think Linda Blair probably made it feel more 70s than anything else either. We got key cast, which none of them I've ever seen again, except for Lawrence Tierney, Major Chatham. He was, of course, Joe in Reservoir Dogs. Monster Joe's Garage, Joe Cabot. It's either my way or the highway.
These guys are sitting in a bullpen in San Quentin. Wondering how they got there.
I do like Final Girl Pam. She was cute. She was resilient. And, I thought she was cute. But she did a good job. I didn't really notice her screaming. Sometimes, people screaming is really annoying. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis has a very distinct scream. And in this one, I didn't really notice, or maybe I just tuned it out, the screaming in this movie. Yeah.
Didn't really pay attention to that.
Yeah.
What got me, because you've got down here that the music was by Richard Einhorn. Mm-hmm. And what got me the most is that I don't really ever pay attention to the music very closely, but this music. So, and I think we talked about this, like you decide when you're a kid, you know what, I'm going to pick up an instrument. This instrument speaks to me. You study that instrument, you practice that instrument for decades. You attain a certain level of ability or virtuosity with it. And then you play in an orchestra and you pick up a gig and you're like, I am going to, get this really solid regular gig scoring movies. And then all you do is hit two strings, go re, 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 re. There was so much screechy violin in this that it got a little bothersome. I would have cared about the screaming, but every now and then or they're on there with the violin going for the tension. And then here he comes. Re, 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 re. It's like, okay, it worked in Psycho. Do we have to do it every single movie after?
I think I kind of tuned it out because it didn't really stick out to me. One thing I've noticed of having watched so many Friday the 13th movies this week is that Henry Manfredini really, really exaggerates the music. Everything is just like super, 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 super pumped up. And you're like, does this scene really need this much music? But yeah, I didn't really notice it. This movie had a budget around $400,000 to $500,000, but they said maybe $1 million. Did not really get a wide release and didn't earn over $1 million. So it was kind of a flop when it first came out. And this is one of those movies that seemed like it was lost for a while. And I remember seeing the box art at the video store, but I never watched it. And I remember seeing this on IFC, the independent film channel, actually, when they used to show movies during Halloween time. And I'm like, the Prowler. And I looked at my little Movie Hound horror movie book, and I saw that Tom Savini did the effects. So I recorded it on the old TiVo, back when there was TiVo. And I watched it and I enjoyed it. And I thought it was definitely, definitely, as David said, indicative of that 80s kind of vibe of slashers.
I think I rented this one. Do you remember where the Zia bar used to be?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there was the one that was across the road. And it's a gas
turquoise
station. No, the turquoise was farther down by the Hogback.
Yeah. Okay.
But there was one right across the way because that's where the Danish exchange student and I used to always go pull around the back and buy beer. But there used to be a video store that they put there. It didn't last very long. I rented this there.
Okay, cool.
I remember that. I don't know why I thought I'd throw that in. Also, the Zia is still open and has a really outstanding liquor store attached to it. You'd be surprised.
Really? The Zia is still open? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it had closed down because they used to call that, and this is way of a digression, they used to call that like Slaughter Alley because people would cross the highway between
lived on top
one bar and the other.
I lived on top of the hill there.
Yeah.
Right on that road. I'd go down all the time. And on Friday and Saturday nights, you drove really slow because you did not want to smear somebody.
Yeah. It was very, very, very dangerous back in the day. We had some notorious bars in Farmington. Remember the Turnaround? The Turnaround and the Top Deck. Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Disneyland.
I remember my dad, this is a traumatic story, so get ready for everybody. My dad would go to Disneyland and they had a Galaxian machine, and my dad would get me a Coke with like cherries in it, and he would get soused while I played Galaxian on visitation day. So yeah, fun stuff.
We need some of that like 70s, like on a special episode with Eric.
Yeah.
We're going to do we need to do like a video game movie trauma related things. We can talk about all the fucked up stuff our parents did.
Yeah. Well, I remember speaking of 80s movie trauma, that my aunt rented I Spit on Your Grave, and I was like 9 or 10, and all the kids were watching, and it fucking traumatized us. I remember one of those first movies, like, I don't want to watch this. I'm going to go into another room. It was just like, you should not be watching that, putting that movie on with kids around. Terrible parenting. Damn aunts and uncles. All right. You want to hit us with a critical consensus, Neil?
Sorry, I was actually reading the other stuff. Linda Gross of the Los Angeles Times panned the film for its violent content, adding that director Joseph Zito prowls around aimlessly without creating an authentic sense of locale. Instead, he delivers a spaced-out nightmare in which the characters act like zombies. That wouldn't have been a slasher. That would have been a zombie film. This woman doesn't know what she's talking about. Stephen Dusner of the Washington Post described the film as bloody, terrifying, often sadistic. The Prowler is a war movie reimagined as a slasher flick, and its message is clear. Take your military heroes for granted and they will come back and kill you. Dusner also noted that the film is gorgeously shot, but conceded that it is never entirely satisfying. There are too many missed opportunities to transcend the genre schlock. Too many passages where nothing happens, too many scares that fall flat. In a review...
I tend to agree with him in a sense. What was that? With those, there was like a skinny, nerdy guy and his girlfriend, and they go make out somewhere, and nothing happens.
They're down in the basement.
Yeah.
But that was the guy, he played the nerd that built the robot in Riptide.
Really? That's a deep cut there, Neil.
Yeah. As soon as I looked at him, I was like, wait a minute. Because he had a catchphrase, and I totally remembered it. He would always go like, oh, that's boss.
That's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Riptide. That was one of those shows that my mom and dad would like, oh, everybody, we're going to watch Riptide because it was like a detective show. And the dude had one of those like weird 80s robots that was just, you know, basically like a remote control thing. It didn't really, just moved its head back and forth, and that was it.
Before Johnny Five?
Yeah, no disassemble.
So, yeah, that was a prime opportunity for a nice double kill to pad the stats when it comes to the kills, and they didn't take it. And I was like totally surprised that did not happen. So,
yeah. That came on, and my wife was like, are we going to have to watch that old guy wank while he's sitting there watching those two? I'm like, oh, God, I hope not.
That at least been something.
He gets mad at the one kid for having a little bit too much to drink, but he's going to go down and perv on the two kids making out down in the basement. In a review for Slant Magazine, Chris Cabin compared the film to both John Carpenter's Halloween and William Lustig's Maniac, writing, these films remain popular due mostly to the films that are made proficiently as far as gore, theatrics, tone, and mood are concerned. And in these terms, The Prowler is certainly deserving of its modest fan base. What the film lacks in narrative drive, coherence, and performance, it makes up with thoughtful lighting, strong cinematography from Raul Lomas, and an uncredited Yao Fernandez, and of course, Savini's lovingly overblown and impossible splatter effects. Something about that man's sentences annoyed the fucking shit out of me. Film scholar John Kenneth Muir, film scholar. What do you do for a living? I'm a film scholar.
I would say we're film scholars. We talk about movies, we research them, put them in context.
That's right. Yeah. Film scholar John Kenneth Muir similarly praised the film, writing that it transcends many of its peers because of its blunt-faced approach to violence and Zito's directorial virtuosity. The Encyclopedia of Horror notes that, like My Bloody Valentine, the movie moves away from the genre's usual Midwestern setting, but that it does little with the new location, nor with its potentially interesting returning GI motif. Like Valentine, the film is judged as being certainly polished, atmospheric, and suspenseful, though hardly original. Leonard Maltin gave the film a negative 1.5 out of possible 4 stars, criticizing the film's plot, calling it illogical. The Time Out Film Guide noted the film as cravingly conformist in every department. AllMovie called it a run-of-the-mill entry in the early 80s slashers film cycle that benefits from an unexpected amount of technical gloss, but has little else to offer. In a retrospective, Dave Wilson of Dread Central noted the film's violent special effects and somber atmosphere as strengths, though conceded the film's characterization was bland. All right, Rotten Tomatoes, 75% of 8 critics. They gave it a positive, and Metacritic on its weighted score, 45 out of 100, and it's mixed or average. Contemporary to modern critics, it's mixed on its initial release, but the film has been reappraised by genre critics and is often listed among underrated or best of slasher lists for its craft and effects. Rotten Tomatoes shows a strong tomato meter appreciation versus a middling audience score, reflecting the film's status as a critic-beloved cult item.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fun.
It's frozen pizza for slasher movies.
Yeah, totally.
It's total frozen pizza for slasher movies.
I kind of thought that the flashback at the beginning was kind of fun, where they show all the people going off to war, and they're he gets the Dear John letter from Rosemary, and then that his
written in that strange ancient script that kids these days can't decipher.
Cursive handwriting.
Yes, yeah. And he goes for the double kill, 2 people at once making out in the gazebo at the dance. His beloved Rosemary, and then some other dude that she's making out with, get the double kill with the pitchfork, and it goes black and it says the Prowler.
All I can think of, and at some point, one of you has to have had a grandmother, grandfather, aunt, or something that back in the 70s had those giant forks and spoons on the wall.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know, but you know what? I would have given anything to have seen him like, oh man, my pitchfork's all fucked up, and then one of those giant forks on the wall, and then just go straight at somebody with one of those. You know what? When we write our 1970s slasher movie and we get the funding for that, I'm going to have my guy, when I write my scenes, he's going to take that giant fork off the wall and people are done.
Well, I just imagine you've got this pitchfork in this area and you're trying to move around. Pitchforks are kind of long, so it's like you're you're hitting it on stuff while you're trying to do your thing. I agree with you, Neil. Just go grab the knife off the wall. It's a little smaller. You could move a little faster.
Maybe he learned the same tactical sort of techniques as the deputy sheriff who was walking around trying to clear a house with a shotgun over his shoulder and a flashlight in one hand.
I remember the box art for the video of this movie, and it's just the one I saw. If you Google Prowler VHS, there's this one where the human exterminator is the Prowler. He has his own way of killing, and it's the swimming pool kill, and you see the guy in the fatigues, covered with the gas mask thing, and then he's got a knife to the girl's throat. I remember that cover of the VHS in the video store, and usually on the bottom shelf at Bronco Video or something like that. Do I want to rent this? Should I rent this? And I never did. I came close to. I probably picked it up and put it back down on the shelf a couple of times, but I never pulled the trigger on it. Some of the other movies, I remember Black Roses. We probably talk about this all the time when we talk about VHS box
Great cover. Great
cover art. Shitty movie, and that is one of those I picked up. I'm like, man, this should be really cool. It was awful. So 35 years later, all the kids are, the great kids are graduating from college, and they're going to have a dance that they haven't had in a long time. And then you get a while where there isn't any killing, but they set it up and talk about the killing that happened 35 years ago. And they talk about, the guy who escaped from a mental institution or something like that. They think he's on his way. Some sort of red herring going on.
I'm so scared. I'm so worried about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do. I really saw the cake at the dance as an allegory for, what was being done and how that guy had been treated. Underneath there was all this going on, but just glossed over with the treatment of I don't know what I'm talking about. I was
going to say, you're getting really, I don't really know if there's subtext in this movie.
No, there's no subtext. But when I think college party, I pray to God there's going to be some cake and punch.
Yeah. Another thing, what's with the live band? The band was awful.
So I rewound just because I wanted to get on the subtitles to make sure I heard those lyrics perfectly. And then there's one, they're like, I want to see her bleed. I want to see her bleed on the floor. Like that doesn't seem like, hey, we just graduated. What the fuck? What do you want to see?
I know. Band's bringing me down.
So you were just talking about the VHS. You can get the VHS there's a rare one for $169 on eBay.
Oh, nice.
And then also you can find an autographed Tom Savini 8x10, the Prowler slasher film autographed Tom Savini poster
for $59.
The Waxwork vinyl record is actually pretty cool. If you've checked that out, it's got a pretty cool cover, and you can get it on green splatter vinyl. And I know, David, you collect horror movie LPs like I do. Soundtracks are amazing, and nobody does it better than Waxwork Records.
So you guys have had a hard day at work, right? You go home, you settle down, like, maybe make a little pasta or something, or throw a steak on, or get a little takeout. And I just want to kick back and relax and be with my thoughts. You know what? I am going to put on the Prowler soundtrack. Read. I'm not buying it.
To be honest with you, I really don't listen to them that much. I just want to have them because they look fucking cool. The only ones I actually really listen to is Deep Red, the Deep Red movie score, because it's Goblin.
God.
I'll listen to Suspiria because it's Goblin as well.
God.
I'll listen to the vinyl for The Exorcist because it's pretty cool. The vinyl for Friday the 13th Part 2 has got a really good vinyl. So that was on Death Waltz Records. So this is really super nerdy. This is like you're already listening to a podcast, which is nerdy, but even nerdier is listening to people talk about the horror vinyl that they collect. So we're down a deep rabbit hole here. But yeah, if I had the Prowler vinyl, I probably would never listen to it, but I'd buy it because it looks fucking cool.
I'm just going to go out right now and say, yours truly, no horror vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Not that you guys collect all you want.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm still waiting for my Waxwork Friday the 13th Part 2 to come in. It's still purchased it, but it's on back order.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sackhead Jason on the cover.
Yeah,
wonderful.
My nerdy goes a completely different route.
Neil's pulling out his bagpipes.
Yeah, that's.
You know what? I'm going to compose a bagpipe theme song for us for this.
Oh yeah, we should.
And record it. Yeah.
Oh, please do. Can't wait to hear that one.
Who wouldn't?
So when you see the sheriff for the first time, Sheriff Frazier, there is one guy who's very suspicious of him. The kind of the brother of the guy who owns the little tiny like bodega store.
Brother's cousin's sister's former roommate.
But he's a little, I don't know if he's slow-witted or what, but he kind of comes off that way. And he's immediately suspicious of the sheriff, which gives away the whole movie.
And this is something that always bothers me in these movies is I don't know, maybe it's, I've knocked the bad guy down and I have a shovel. I'm going to take the sharp end of that and I'm going to hack it into his neck until I cleave his head from his body. I just burst in the door and I just point blank popped a shotgun right at the bad guy. But you know what? I'm going to keep cranking through rounds until that shotgun feels lighter. In Horrorland, nobody ever does that.
Yeah. You always stab him once and drop the knife, shoot
back
him,
up he goes.
drop you back. Yeah, get comfortable until you have the jump scare. So yeah, the first killing is the girl in the shower. What did you say? What'd you call it earlier?
Shower titties.
Yeah, or pitchfork titties.
Pitchfork. Oh yeah, those were pitchfork titties.
And she is in the shower for at least an hour chronologically the way the movie goes. Because
did your inner father, did that piss off your inner father? Yes, that
pissed me off because
you're wasting all this water.
Yeah, because Pam, our heroine, she changes into her white dress and then she's like, hey, I'm gonna go, and blah blah blah. She's talking to her friends in the shower, and then her boyfriend shows up. They both get murdered. But even before,
that wasn't the forking she was looking for in the shower.
She was not looking for that kind of forking, yeah. So, but that was cool. A cool kill when her boyfriend gets the bayonet through the top of the head. That was a pretty good one. I don't know why his eyes turned white.
That was really weird too.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of weird. But yeah, he gets the bayonet through the top of the head, and then the girl gets the pitchfork through the middle of the torso. And then Pam comes back as somebody spilled punch on her white dress, and she gets changed into the cool 70s blue
red
dress.
Blood-like punch on her white dress.
Oh my God. There is subtext. But that happens, and she doesn't even give it a second thought that her friend is still in the shower. Whatever. Bye.
Yeah, they're just left in there the whole damn night until she gets back home.
Yeah.
Oh, my stars, more dead people. Like, at this point, you're like, fuck, they got these guys too.
Exactly. I would be thinking about the water bill. I'd be like, God damn it, we paid for the water bill. Who touched the thermostat? God damn it!
Yeah.
The windows open. Are we heating up outside?
Yeah.
I want to know what
Who
kick-ass
left the lights on in the living room?
Did you touch my tools? What sweet dorm did they have where they had a little ensuite where they could just take a shower, where you didn't have to do the walk of shame, like holding a towel around your waist with your little shower caddy and your flip-flops?
Yeah, exactly. We went to our dorm experience was at the University of New Mexico, which was hellish. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be taking a shower and someone would come in and just like tear the curtain off and run.
Or people would the toilets would be destroyed by the time the cleaning people would come back on Monday.
Okay. So I did. Okay. Yeah. You know, the dorm I stayed in, it had the pizza place underneath.
Yeah.
And I had saved up and had gotten a green chili jalapeno pepperoni pizza and demolished it. I just demolished that whole thing and then proceeded to have a lot of Keystone beer, which was super cheap, and had a lot of Keystone beer. And then I ended up thinking that I puked ever so gingerly into the toilet because it was that half of the wing had to share it. I mean, it was like 4 toilets, 6 sinks, and 4 showers shared between maybe 30 people. Mm-hmm. And I thought I delicately puked and then walked myself back. And then someone pounds on the door. I'm like, some motherfucker just sprayed puke and pizza all over the whole goddamn bathroom. And went in and I freaking exorcised that whole bathroom. And I felt like so shitty. And I just remember not taking responsibility. Like, whoever did that. Oh my God.
That bastard, what an asshole.
Yeah. A couple people telling me like, you were leaning 45 degrees against the wall trying to make it back. We just shoved you into your own bed. Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. People are savages. That's when you live communally with other people, that's when you realize man is still an animal. Especially 18-year-olds who are out on their own for the first time and they have no parents to watch them and stuff like that. It was so glorious. Yeah, it was fun, but the people are savages. So yeah. So Pam sees the killer and now starts the cat and mouse that lasts the entire movie, where she's being chased and she sees him and he's going around, and it's just an exercise in tedium.
I'm ready for our date. Yeah. I'm ready for our date.
I thought he looked kind of cool though the outfit that he was wearing and stuff like that, the little spats on top of his boots or whatever. Kind of a decent horror movie look. Not as iconic as the miner in My Bloody Valentine. And of course, nowhere near as cool as Jason or Michael Myers. But it wasn't terrible.
I didn't like it. And the weird shit he had, the bag thing he had on his face, I didn't really care for that.
Yeah. A couple more kills. The girl gets stabbed.
You know why Rosemary deserved to die? No, I'm going to go back to the beginning of that letter.
Okay,
that bugs the shit out of me. Uh-huh. You know why Rosemary deserved to die? Because she turned the end of her Y into a rose.
Yes.
You just shit on the guy. He's out. He's fighting to stop evil. He is fighting to literally save the world from fascists and genocide. And you're like, you know what? This pussy needs some action. I can't wait around you. It needs to run free. While he's over there, he's over there in a trench stuck nut to butt, praying that a grenade doesn't fly in there. And then she's like, "Hey, sorry, can't make it, but guess what? Look at my little Y, little rose, suck it."
So when Pam is running around and she finds the body stuffed up in the chimney, who's that supposed to be?
Maybe the girl? Maybe the original Rosemary?
Because she's looking around the Chatham house, which
There's the thing's dangling down.
Yeah, and it's like a dead girl in a flapper costume, and but it doesn't. I don't know if that's Rosemary or what. That confused me.
I didn't get that either. But you know what? I don't think I can express to you how much that girl's why in the end of that note annoyed me.
I kind of saw that. I'm like, huh. It was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to stab her with a pitchfork myself.
So, a girl named Lisa gets her throat slit in the pool. The other girl gets killed in the pool. And then, the body count just is only 8 in this movie. And 2 of them are at the very end where the guy shoots the killer.
And then they stare at each other for like 30 seconds. What the hell was that about? I thought we were watching like a delicate after-school special.
Yeah, it's Otto is his name. The hapless neighborhood vigilante Otto confronts the killer. The killer is shot, but then shoots Otto with a shotgun. I do like the blood spatter effect from behind, where he's standing against the door, and the way the blood splattered on the door. That was a pretty good effect by Savini. That was pretty fun.
My favorite has got to be though those. You know how they got the knives with the notches taken out of it. So it looks like it's deep in the flesh.
Yeah.
Though it's such a simple thing, but it works because you're sitting there like, oh my God, sawn or windpipe. It's brutal. And you got the little tube squirting the blood out that's like taped underneath the knife, but it's like, it's so cool though, as far as the effect.
Well, Savini's so good at making that look real, and I think one of my favorite Savini moments is when a zombie gets a screwdriver through the ear in Dawn of the Dead, and the way the blood just kind of pulls up around the screwdriver when the screwdriver goes in his ear. That I always thought was really cool. And another thing in Dawn of the Dead where the biker gang infiltrates the mall, and one of the biker guys sees a blood pressure cuff machine, the ones that everybody wanted to use when you were a kid, to put your arm in there and get your blood pressure taken. He is getting chased by zombies. He's like, oh shit, there's a blood pressure machine in there, and then the zombies tear him apart and leave his arm in the blood pressure cuff machine. That always just was inexplicable to me, but is funny as hell. But that was a really good Tom Savini effect.
Can I ask you a quick question though?
Yeah.
Are we not talking about the Prowler?
Yes, because we're getting ready to talk about Tom Savini's affinity for blowing heads up with shotguns.
If you're good at something, you should stick with it.
Yes.
I will say that was a laugh out loud moment for me, because they're sitting there struggling, and that look on his face, like he knows this could go really badly for him. His eyes are just wide open. Some of the best acting in the whole movie.
His mouth's wide open. Super
and then it goes under, and then when it exploded, it just brought a giggle.
Yeah, it's a perfect explosion, and they just kind of fade to black. But going back to Dawn of the Dead, I remember when the SWAT team's raiding the apartment complex, and then somebody sees a zombie and he just shoots that head. That's the first head explosion I remember from Tom Savini. And then in the movie Maniac, where the title character Maniac shoots Tom Savini he jumps on the hood of the car with a shotgun, and he just shoots through the windshield and blows the head up. That was another classic one. And this one, of course, is amazing as well. Just a little aside, which head explosion do you think is the best of any movie?
Scanners.
Yep. Scanners.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts to your thoughts.
Yeah.
That
one is just
to your mind.
Isn't there a great one in the story of Ricky O?
Well, Ricky O is so funny because when he claps his hands together and smashes the guy's head, that is amazing. A really good one. And then he punches the guy and it takes just the top of his head off, leaves the nose and everything underneath. That is just on a different cheesy level. But I think Scanners, as far as like looking like a real, head exploding, that is the gold standard. But Tom Savini is right up there with his head explosions as well.
That was a great box too, with Michael Ironside on the cover.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Scanners box. I remember renting that one, just like wanting, because I think we had seen another movie how they used to have like a few commercials for films before you would actually watch the feature, and seeing it and wanting to watch that, and then getting it and not really knowing what's going to happen, and then the dude's head exploded, and it's like, I am all in this movie right now. There's
the Embassy Entertainment Scanners VHS. Says Scanners, 10 seconds, the pain begins. 15 seconds, you can't breathe. 20 seconds, you explode. And it does have the Michael Ironside. His eyes are all, whited out and stuff.
This sounds like Dave's Alone Time that you're describing, actually.
20 seconds, you explode. And you close 15 tabs and shut your laptop. The ending seems super tacked on, where it's, again, of course, a dream sequence where Pam goes back into the house. She goes up the stairs and she sees the guy kind of hung, in the shower, and his eyes are white, and he reaches out and grabs her and she freaks out. I think that's just going for the Jason jumps out of the water, the hands jump out, coming out of the graves during Carrie. It's just kind of we need that kind of like send you home scared type thing. And this one wasn't that great, but yeah. If you are a fan of good special effects and you're a slasher completist, I recommend this movie. It's fun. If you're not really a slasher fan and you don't like waiting around for kills to happen, this is probably not your movie. But I recommend it as a slasher fan and just enjoying this genre. I feel like it's comfort food for me. This sounds really, really deranged, but it is. Like if I like, I'm not really do anything today, I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to put in a slasher movie and just kind of maybe doom scroll a little bit and then look up and watch the kills, and then, just look up the movie, see where everybody is now, and just look up everything about the movie and learn about it. But yeah, it's a fun one. David, what are your thoughts about it?
I actually liked it. I wish I could have finished it. Like I said, it kind of brought back the nostalgic feeling of like an actual 80s slasher that I felt like I said, Hell Night was missing that. I didn't feel it. And I actually kind of liked Hell Night, but yeah, I wish I could have finished this one.
Neil, how about you?
It was frozen pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was just waiting to see Savini's work, honestly, and just like how creative and inventive each one of those was going to be. And it's a slasher movie, and this is the time of year for slasher movies, and shitty slasher movies are even better at this time of year.
Yeah.
On Halloween, that's when you watch Halloween. That's the top of the pyramid. That's the penultimate. You have found the Holy Grail. But to lead up to that, you got to find, the dregs at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah, exactly. Like Graduation Day, House on Sorority Row, Fun House, all those movies that we're going to talk about from 1981 here next week. If you would like to share your memories of watching these slasher movies, send us an email, rvspodcast222@gmail.com, or send us a message through the Buzzsprout app. And send
if you had a normal childhood, just don't contact us at all.
I want to hear what your memories are of renting these movies as a kid or as a teen, and put in context what slasher movies mean to you. And we're going to talk about that next week. Not necessarily, we're going to focus on 81, but I think we'll talk a lot about the other ones from the 80s as well, and just kind of dive into what slasher movies mean to us. Yeah, I
think if they would have changed this from back to the working title, it would have done so much more.
Rosemary's Killer, is that what
the graduation?
Yeah, because this was released as Rosemary's Killer in certain.
Yeah, Graduation would have been way better because I'm sitting there looking at them like, are they high school, college? What are we doing?
Yeah,
took a minute to put it together.
Yeah, the Prowler maybe not the best title for it, but yeah, if you're a completist, check it out. Next week will be a very special episode where we talk about Dave getting almost molested by a bike shop owner, just like on Different Strokes.
Wow, that just
I'm scared.
took a hard price.
I said very special episode. Remember that very special episode of Different Strokes where Arnold almost gets molested by the bike shop owner?
What you talking about, Willis?
There was always very special episodes where, remember that one on Family Ties where Alex Keaton's friend dies in a DUI accident and it's like a play, or when Tom Hanks shows up and he's the uncle and he's drinking the vanilla extract and stuff like that, or there's all sorts of very special episodes in the 70s. So next week is a very special episode.
It's like, I don't remember that at all.
You've suppressed it.
You suppressed it. Yeah, you blocked it out. Why is David's bicycle the only one on the block that has no seat?
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Hit us up, rvspodcast222 on gmail.com. We're on the Instagram and we're on Facebook. And if you want to donate, go to buymeacoffee.com and look for the Retro Video Store. Thanks, everybody who's been listening. We're having good numbers, and we really appreciate you.
Twitter and Threads can suck it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Blue Sky and all the other kind of stuff.
Blue Sky. That one was, Sorry. Have a good week, though.
Yes. Dave?
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye. Dave says bye.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Video Store podcast.